Right, guys, welcome back. We're here with Markus Potgieter, legendary kayak fisherman, absolute master on the ocean. He's recently been up in the area where we're having our comp, and he's going to share a little bit of insight into all the tactics and the tricks that you need to know up there. Markus, thanks for being here.
Yeah, only a pleasure, Pierre.
Yeah.
How's it, guys?
Yeah, maybe you can enlighten us on what Pandan's like. A lot of the guys haven't been there for a number of years now, so it'll be nice to understand what it's like, if it's still the same, the fishing's still as good.
Yeah, the fishing's definitely still as good, eh? I mean, this was always my favorite event, and what I always look forward to fishing the most out of all of the comps and the trips and the tours I do and did. So it's great to have it back again.
Yeah,
I think the anticipation and the excitement is it's unreal. It's awesome. So yeah, I've been up there. I was up there for the Ganjata ski boat comp, and then I did a guided kayak fishing tour and 2 charters on the boats up there. So I've been fishing up there a lot. I've probably spent about 60 days up that side fishing in the last
60
last 2 months.
Tough life, eh? Tough life.
Yeah, no, the fishing's really good, but I mean, that place is fickle. It's like anywhere else. You definitely have to adapt to that style of fishing. The one thing of advice I can give the guys for their first time going up there is don't fish like you fish in Durban. You really need to chat to the guys that have been there, chat to the guys that have got a bit of experience, and the guys will help you. They will help you. And just change your tactics. The first thing you've got to deal with is current. So it's very difficult to get your baits to swim straight, so you have to change your traces and change your tactics. You also need to be reasonably fit, because there's a lot of paddling. It's not dangerous up there, but the current still goes. You know, even though the launches are easy and getting in and out, and the wind blows, you're also going to be fishing in wind. There's no way.
I mean, it's also advisable to try and team up with someone, have a mate with you. Try and stay in touch and in comms most of the time.
Yeah.
As you say, the current does scream there. That footage you showed me, I couldn't believe it. It looked
Yeah.
like a whitewater rafting race.
100%. So yeah, you just got to. But a very good way to fish up there and to get on the water and fish a lot is to downwind. So you'll drive up the coast. It's Coconut Bay, and you'll do a 10k downwind, and you might do 2 downwinds, 3 downwinds in a day. But that's the beauty about fishing up that area is, even if the wind is blowing and the conditions are not perfect in Durban standards, you can absolutely fish.
And we'll obviously check those days, check the wind days, see which way the wind's blowing, and make a call on those particular days.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, that's the one thing, and then as I said, fitness. You're going to do a lot of paddling, time on the water. The other thing I can give a bit of advice is it's very hot up there, hey guys. The sun is hectic. Make sure you're wearing long pants or tights. I know it's a bit of a joke, but gloves are also a big thing. Your hands just get so eaten from tying knots and pulling braid, and it's wet and it's tropical there all the time. So honestly, cover your hands, buffs, glasses, sunscreen. Just make sure you rub the sunscreen off your hands before you start paddling, because you get a little bit of a slip there on the first stroke in the shore break. Just cover up. Make sure your fishing equipment is also cool. There's no point in wearing dark colors or, like, you know what I mean?
Lightweight stuff,
Lightweight stuff, yeah.
And then just getting back to, you mentioned different fishing techniques. It's totally different to fishing in Durban, current being one of the main factors. If we look at the areas that we're going to be fishing, maybe we can get a little bit out of you from your time up there now. Obviously, we've got our northern boundary being Paindane, which is just north of Manta.
Correct, yeah.
And then southern boundary, which will be our safety exit, would be Island Rock.
Yes, Island Rock. I was just chatting to Brett now. It's called the water tower. You'll see there's a big water tower in a house. So for safety reasons, you can beach in front of there. There's no rock on the beach. So that's the thing. What's also different about this place is, if you get caught in the current, you don't fight it. You just come in the next bay. It's not like Vidal, where if you don't get back to the point, you've got rock almost all the way to St. Lucia.
Yes.
Where here, if you get caught in the wind, you just beach, run back along the beach, or
there's nothing to be scared of.
No,
it's not
absolutely.
like you're beaching over a reef or anything like that. And then also, if you do get stuck in that current, especially at Pandan, around the point, maybe just tuck in the inside and paddle back on the back line. You don't need to try and fight it.
Yeah, but at Pandan, when the current's going, they call it the Pandan Express. The guys that are coming up there, you'll feel the wrath of the Pandan Express, I have no doubt. And it's quite easy to get back to the point, but to get from the point back around into the bay, especially when the tide starts going out, that 200 meters can be hectic. That can take you an hour.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's a very short distance to cover.
And sometimes it is better just to go down, and you'll see there's another place just south of Pandan Resort. There's a resort called Lighthouse Reef. It's like a normal surf launch. You can beach right there, and actually there's the beach bar, the access on and off the beach is also right there. So it's not a big mission if you do beach there.
And then maybe just chat around the launching conditions at the different spots that we'll be fishing. Coconut Bay.
Pride of Russia first of all is a big point. Big point and a big rock. It was actually in the water. There's like some monument there. Also, there's one at Tofino and one at Pride of Russia where there's like these big blowholes and potholes, and so it's a bay. There's a surf. There's definitely a bank, and you have to surf launch. So that's Pride of Russia. And then going.
That you'll access driving around on the.
You have to. Yeah, that's one thing.
Drive on the beach. Unfortunately,
you're not allowed to drive on the beach, and the Marittima guys will be there, and it's a big fine if you do get caught driving along the beach. So you need to plan in advance. If you're going to downwind, even have a driver, or leave one vehicle at say Ginjata and you drive up to Coconut Bay on the back road. It's about a half an hour drive. Launch the kayaks beach at Ginjata, Pandan, wherever you decide to downwind to, and then have another vehicle there and just drive on and get the car. I mean, I have no doubt, like you said, you're going to be fishing with a bunch of buddies.
Yes.
You'll stick together and you have your own plan or strategy, and there's trailers going back and forth, and it's very easy to do that, yeah.
And that rough distance, Marcus, from Pride of Russia down to Pandan, what would you say?
Well, okay, so I think let's just start at Coconut, because I think that's basically where everyone's going to go. Pride of Russia is a bit out of the way.
It's a bit out of the way.
It is a bit out of the way. That's the northern boundary. I wouldn't really say.
So most guys will probably launch at Coconut Bay.
Yeah, and the current's a little bit more slack there, so you can actually paddle up to Manta and all those reef systems further north from Coconut Bay. It's about a 4K paddle to Manta, and then the northern section of the reef's about 6.5 Ks from Coconut. And you've got a ledge that literally runs. I mean, some of the high spots, Manta comes up to 18 meters in some places, and on the outside it's about 55 meters. On the inside drop-off it's about 35 meters. So it's a big ridge line, and it goes. I mean, the common spots are straight off Coconut Bay. You've got Green Tree, which is, these are scuba diving reefs. Green Tree, Ecstasy, Manta, and then you've got Spike, and then North Spike are the four main areas, and it's constant reef in between. And like, I was fishing up there a lot now, and you find little hot spots all along that ledge. It's not a secret, those marks are very well known. They're common.
That's the main reef area there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and obviously you got your little hot spots and whatever else like that. But I was fishing up there a lot now, and every day changed. There, I was finding the showing on different sections of the reef. But that ledge is very, very good. I mean, the current's not so bad. It's very manageable to paddle.
And the launch itself is easy. It's not bad at all.
Coconut Bay. Again, it's a big bay. Obviously, on the high tide, you get a little bit more of a shore break, and it is a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it's quite direct, if I recall.
But it's soft. It's like launching at Veggies
or it's nothing like we contend with here.
Just a tip as well. I mean, if it's high tide, more when you're coming in. When you're launching, you can get down to the beach at Coconut Bay, Ginjata Bay, Pride of Russia, Pandan. On a dead low tide, it is flat. You can put your rods in rod holders and you can paddle out. Often you'll launch on the low tide and you'll fish, and then you'll come in and the tides come in and there's a bit of a shore break. So just be aware of the tides. If you're coming in and the tide's pushing or it was high, at any spot I would pack your rods away. Don't try and be too clever coming in with
a few incidents
of experienced guys. And trust me, you can use your sunglasses and your cap in this much water.
Didn't the pins go over there?
So Coconut is, as I said, it's quite a nice chilled launch. It's a chilled place to fish. On the inside, that 18 to 25 meters of water, you get a lot of Kuta. On the outside of that ledge, that I said, that 50-meter ledge, you watch for the birds. You'll see the terns diving, and you'll see skipjack tuna, yellowfin tuna busting in the deep. That ledge is also good for bullfish on the outside. You get salies, marlin, everything. I mean, it's really a good area.
And the section between Coconut Bay and Ginjata?
There's not much. There's really not much. It's about 10 Ks. So, for example, downwind from Westbrook to Umshlaki, which I'm sure most guys have done at some point, is about the same distance.
Yeah.
But remember, you catch fish over the sand. Eh?
Yeah.
It's a good drift, that. Eh? It's
still worth it.
It's definitely worth it. I mean, if the east is blowing pretty hard and the current's going, you don't necessarily have to get up to those reefs north of Coconut. You can literally launch Coconut, get out to the 18, 25 meter line, put two standard Kuta baits like you would fish in Durban, and just drift. Come in at Kinjata or at Pandan.
Carry on through, yeah.
Yeah, so that distance is about 10 k's, and then you've got home reef at Kinjata. It's a big reef system, probably on the outside it's about 45 meters, and it comes right in shallow, right onto the point. Like, it's very, very shallow. The thing is, if you fish quite shallow there on the inside, there's a lot of red fang triggerfish and surgeons and like reef fish, and they just destroy your dead baits. So you've got to use big baits if you want to fish on the inside, big solid baits like bonnies or silkies. And then on the outside, that, you know, the 35 to 45 meters on the actual outside of home reef, you'll see there's a red and white tower on the hill, straight off the red and white tower. It's a very good spot for Kuta. I got a lot of yellowfin up there now as well. You see the yellowfin on the outside. They would come through in like waves, and then it's also probably the place where I personally caught the most bullfish in that area is on Kinjata home reef.
It comes alive in the afternoon.
It does, yeah. Especially late in the afternoon, you see all the sauries and the garfish, and you check the salies. I mean, I saw salies free swimming there, just literally free swimming. But for some reason, yeah, especially late in the afternoon, the bullfish, the salies chase those garfish around there for some reason, and the half-beaks. And then from there to Pandan, is like, I think it's like 1.8 k's. It's close, it's quick. Then Pandan itself, if you look on the map, it says Cobos des Carante, a place where the currents meet. So it is the end of that whole peninsula. So that place is literally like a funnel. The current
funnels into that.
The current flies past it. Yeah. So yeah, just a tip on Pandan. Be careful fishing that place on an outgoing tide. It just intensifies that current there. Yeah, you have an outgoing tide and a strong northeast, or even a strong southeast. It can be almost unfishable there.
So I had a look at the tidal charts, and it seems we're going over full moon spring tides.
Yeah.
I think springs are on Wednesday or Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe take note of that.
So your low is going to be in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool, because then you've got a low tide with a pushing tide throughout the day. So yeah, according to those tides, you should be fine, most of the day.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's not a problem there. But yeah, just beware. Yeah, probably towards the end of the week, then early in the morning. It'll be a bit tricky at Pandan. But yeah, that place, as I said, it's like a funnel. The fish come through there. If you got nowhere else to do or nowhere else to be, Pandan
is the spot.
Pandan is generally that place.
If you were to rate the different spots, with your experience, where would you say is your best place for fishing? If you're fishing a species comp.
You see, okay, but that's the thing.
Tell us now.
No, that's the thing. It's like, what do you actually have to target? You need to adapt and move. But yes, I agree with you. Some of the most fun I've ever had, and some of the best fishing I've had, I'm talking about where I've fished, has been at Pandan. When it turns on, it can also be stone dead.
It's stone dead, and then within an hour it changes.
Yeah, and it doesn't like pressure, that place either. Especially in the ski boat comps with the oaks trawling rapalas up and down in boats. It's a small area.
Yeah.
You know, you also get the local guys, the subsistence fishermen. They go out there and they anchor and they have 200-meter lines out, and you can't fish around the guys. You know.
So what we've tried to negotiate with the owners of Pandan that we have free reign to the home reef during the time of the comp, and we're going to obviously try and give back to the community. So we're going to give fish that we catch back to them in lieu of us having a bit of free reign on that home reef. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. Yeah.
It is the ocean. No one owns the ocean, but I'm just saying it like. But when Pandan turns on, it's fantastic. It really is. But again, you need to plan what species you're going to catch and where. I mean, I've caught Kuta at Pandan, and some very big Kuta have come out there, but it's not a spot where you can go and put two Kuta baits and paddle around.
Your baits are going to spin there in any case.
You go backwards. You don't fish Kuta baits at Pandan.
No.
And if it is dead still, then you don't catch much. So.
And south of Pandan?
Yeah, so they call it Lighthouse Reef, which is the next lodge south of Pandan. I don't know, it's about 6K, 7Ks to Island Rock itself. But that stretch, it's like an eddy behind the current.
It slackens there.
It slackens there, and a lot of Kuta are caught in that stretch. It's mostly sand. There is a bit of reef on the
inside.
inside.
Sit on the eddy and just pick off the fish that comes
So if the
through.
current's a bit hectic and you're waiting for the tide to turn or whatever, drift down past the rock and fish that stretch.
In front of Island Rock.
In front of Island Rock, it's a good. No, not in front of Island Rock. Between Pandan and Island Rock, it's a good stretch to catch Kuta and other bits and pieces. And then going to Island Rock, again that place when the current goes. When we were in the ski boat comp there now, the tide was going out and the swell was a bit big, and a boat actually flipped there. And they actually had to. So just be careful that current can also be a bit hectic going around that rock.
Around the point there.
I've seen it worse than Pandan when it really does get bad.
But once you get into the bay, it's sheltered.
Yeah, into the bay, with any place. When it's Conjata, Coconuts,
all of them.
If you can get into the bay, you find it. And it's not like you can't really see where you're going. I mean, Pandan is a massive rock that sticks out the water, and Island
Rock's the same.
Island Rock's even bigger, and Coconut's like a long reef that like vital, but it's prominent. It sticks out of the water, so you can see
where you need to be.
You know where to get in.
Yeah.
And then from Island Rock down the back of the reef, you've got a ledge. It's about 12, 13 meters of water. You catch all sorts of bits and pieces
little
there.
kingies there.
A lot of smaller kingies.
The queenies come there too.
Yes, that's one of the spots where we've caught a lot of queenies in the past. But I mean, I was chatting to Tarek now, who's Prime Zoo, the charter operator up there, and he was saying they haven't caught queenfish in like the last year. But everything changes, it's not.
It's not cast in stone.
No, 100%. Yeah. And then that current line of that draining water that goes out Island Rock is a very good spot for. You often get lots of small live bonnies there. It's a very good spot for salies.
So to pin a live bait would be the right thing to do there?
I've caught a lot of Kuta also just on the 18 to 20 meters. So not on the back of the reef, just a little bit out of the reef. One of my favorite spots to throw stick baits. You get a lot of like Kuta going aerial. And
you've got some great footage from
it's a good spot that for especially topwater because it's shallow. So I think topwater is great because the fish can see the lure on the top, and then going further south towards Lagogo, but the boundaries stop at Lagogo, the water tower. You'll see there's a house there, it's got like a terracotta roof, and there's a big water tower. Also a very, very good spot for Kuta down there, and got quite a bit of live bait there now. You saw it on the surface. Early in the morning. So it's not a bad shot if you're cycling for Kuta to go down that side. But I mean, recently that area hasn't really produced for me personally. But as I said, it can all change. It can change quickly.
Markus, and then I know we've covered some aspects of tackle and gear. Maybe you can. I mean, you mentioned that you went through 30 of a particular jig, which I'm not going to share with the guys. But your tackle does take a hammering there, and maybe just give us some advice and tips there.
Sure. See, it's hard for the guys. Like I'm chatting to all the Cape Town guys, and they're trying to get a rod that can do 3 different. And there is a way to do it, but I've got a drop shot rod, and I've got a slow pitch rod, and I've got my medium heavy jigging rod, which is like my workhorse. Then I've got a stick bait and top water popping rod. Then I've got a live bonnie rod that's like a short stiff rig for. And then I've got my 2 normal trap sticks, and now that's like 8 outfits. But I'll have my 8 outfits, and if I'm going,
depending
where I'm going, I might leave 1 or 2 of those outfits behind.
I'm sure you can't fit 8 rods in a ski. It's a bit of a
I think this comp is where this whole having 5, 6 rod holders on your kayak came from, because you can really carry a lot of tackle with you, because you're not necessarily here in Durban. Your hatch is to stow your rods and your fish when you're coming in and out through the surf.
Yeah.
Here it's not so hectic. As long as your stuff's tied on and the launch is pretty soft there, you can chance it and launch with your rods and your rod holder and stuff like that. And again, you adapt to what's happening up there. If there's nothing happening on the top water side, which is what happened in the last week when I was up here on the ski boat, you leave it behind. You don't
fish with it.
And you can put a popper on your medium heavy jigging rod, and you can cast. But
so for the guys that are coming up there that haven't been there, what would you suggest? One light rod for drop shot. And
spinning drop shot, yeah. So like a 30-40 pound outfit with like a 6,000 reel.
Yeah.
Again, that'll be casting at live bonnies. If the bite gets a little bit slow and you're using like drop shots and smaller jigs and you want to get down,
yes.
Obviously that 30-pound, 40-pound braid sinks a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But you do get smoked on that outfit.
So carry a lot of leader line with you.
Yeah, that and then my workhorse is my medium heavy jigging rod, which has got an 8 or a 10,000 reel on.
Okay.
And that's 50 to 60 pound. I don't think you need on a kayak any more than 60 pound. You cannot physically pull harder.
What sort of leader you put on that?
80 pound leader. Yeah. So you go about 20 pound or about a third heavier on the leader as to your braid. But as I said, there's no steadfast rule on what you.
No, there's no rule in that. Yeah.
But that outfit is what I use. That's my workhorse. Is that medium heavy or medium jigging outfit. And as I said, on a kayak, even for the Amberjack and the big GTs, you like a cork. If you lock up, put your hand over the spool and you hold, you're going over before that braid's breaking. I promise you. You don't need to go any heavier than that.
I know exactly what you mean.
And then a third spinning rod is like also about a 50 or 60 pound, maybe something a little bit longer, 7 foot, 7'6", even 8 foot. Obviously the longer the rod, the further you can cast.
Yeah.
And that would be for like stick baits and poppers. You see the tuna and the skippies come up on the surface, and then the Kuta, when they start going ridiculous and going aerial with the stick baits, that's the outfits I use. And then obviously the GTs, but as I said, there was very little. 2 trips ago, I had a lot of action on top water. I got some nice GTs on top water.
And now when you were there?
Nothing. It was very, very slow on the top water. But that's how you adapt and you change.
Yeah.
But then staying in the same breath, I was jigging and I watched the Dorado swim past the ski, past the boat. I quickly grabbed the jigging rod out the T-top, threw the stick bait in front of it, 2 twitches, and I was on. I ended up getting 3 Dorado like that, side casting to them with the stick bait rod. So now if you don't have it, then
you're not going to get a cast in. You're not going to get the
you're not going to have time to wind up, take your jig off, and then 2 trawling rods. I would say 30 pound, maybe fish slightly heavier leaders than what you would in Durban, just because bullfish are going to come, and there are some sea monsters there, I promise you.
And that big Jeet will also eat something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I think every trip I get beaten by GTs there. I got beaten properly this time as well. So they're there, but to land them is very difficult.
Especially on the kayak too.
Yeah, it's hard enough on the boat.
Your personal biggest GT is from there, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah.
That thing beat you up properly.
Yeah, but that kingy made a mistake. It ran out to sea. Every now and then you got to get a bit lucky. And
exactly. But they're there. Those big boats come through.
They're there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely there.
Obviously there's different species to target. When it comes to the kingfish, there's so many that come through there. I think it's like a little bit of a licorice all sorts packet. You go down and you might catch a bludgeon now, and a little bit later you get a yellow spot. I did find now it wasn't like a lucky packet of kingies. It was like consistently
one species, and it would change. Like I'd get yellow spots on this mark, and that's showing in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was getting bludgers.
Okay. So you don't mind sharing those marks with Cam, eh?
Yeah. Cam better send some marks to me. He beat me in this. Pulling reparters.
Well, there we go. Again, like you say, nothing's cast in stone there. Things can change in a day. And then just with regards to times, obviously we're going to fish from first light.
Yeah.
We're still contemplating the weighing in, but like you mentioned to me the other day, you can fish there until 6 o'clock in the evening comfortably. And
even more.
The
7.
afternoon bite comes there as well.
It comes late, yeah.
So times, I don't know. Like we tidal now with going into springs there, but the ocean's magnificent there. It changes all the time. I remember days when those skipjack tuna would come through in shoals the size of rugby fields. So but that can change in an hour. So
100%.
What is your preferred time of fishing there? I know you're an all-dayer. Sometimes you stay out all day.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a few of those diehards out there, the young bucks.
Yeah. Again, it depends on the spot. Like certain spots are more tidal as opposed to the time of day. Early morning is always the best.
Yes.
Like you pull those first light, you can catch anything from a big sea pike to tuna to double up on wahoo.
Yeah.
I've done that on my kayak first thing in the morning pulling lures. So yeah, first light's a bit of a lucky packet and can make or break your day.
Yeah.
Especially in a species format. And then I find if I got 4 or 5 species underneath my belt, then by the morning session, I might just go and look for a 5th or 6th species completely, just one extra multiplier that afternoon.
Yeah.
And not worry about catching lots of fish, just worry about catching that species.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing about that area is you can literally go, where are the carp? Okay, cool. For example, they're traditionally on this and this reef, and this is the tactics you use to catch them. And then you can go there and you can focus and you can give it a go, you know?
Yeah.
And you're often very successful in targeting that fish if you give yourself enough of a chance, you know?
Exactly.
But then in the same, you can't be too calculated and too formulated. You need to be able to adapt and adapt quickly on the water.
Have you told Shanta that? Have you told him that?
Yeah, you can't have a scripted, this is what I'm going to catch at this time of the day at this reef. And you need to be here. Yeah, it changes.
It changes all the time.
And you got to get lucky, eh?
Yeah.
You got to get that.
There's always a luck fish.
You got to get that big prodigal jigging or on your Kuta bait while you weren't expecting it. Hook a sailey while you're doing a downwind. A big GT. You know, often I think in the comps gone past in this format, the difference of me coming first or second or third over the other anglers was literally that X factor fish.
Correct.
And you've got to give yourself that chance to get that fish. And you get lucky, you don't, you know, like, and that can make or break you in this comp. Yeah. So, but yeah, just as far as species go, I don't think anyone's ever won this comp with less than 8 species.
No, you're gonna
have
to at least have 8 on the board to get somewhere.
The one year I think I got 11 species when I won it, but yeah, 8 or 9 species is kind of what you need to gun for.
That's it.
To give you an example, a good day is 5 species in a day. The nice thing is, not like the ski boat comp, you don't start from 0. So, you know, you can focus the yellow spots or your Kuta trying today, or you go to a spot and you go and catch a Kuta. Catch all your Kuta that you weigh. The nice thing about the format is also it's 5 per species.
5 per species.
Yeah, so if you can catch your 5 Kuta in the first day, or the first morning, my advice is get it out the way, and then you don't have to worry about fishing for Kuta, for instance, you know. And don't leave fish to catch fish, you know.
That's a bad mistake.
Stay on the fish. If you're on the fish, stay on the fish.
That's what Cameron did.
Until you're done, until you're done with that species, and then keep moving on. Just keep adapting, keep thinking, and the bites. There's lots of fish to be caught. I mean, there's lots of bites. So the fish have been a bit smaller. That's another thing than what we have had in the past. So like 50 centimeter. There's a lot of those smaller kingies, smaller jobfish, smaller carp.
So yeah, just touching on that with our rules, we've got obviously we're going to stick a ruler on the side of the boat denoting the different sizes, and we made that minimum size a 50 centimeter size. Obviously,
yeah, that's a good rule. Yeah, I agree.
It just gives guys a good chance.
Yeah, you want the guys to catch fish.
Yeah. You want to be part of the comp. So, yeah.
Nothing more frustrating than getting 8 kingies and they just shy of it was 600 in the comp.
You can't get on the scoreboard. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of small kingies and then a lot of really big ones, like big yellow spots, big bludgers.
And those things give you a hiding. Don't be fooled.
Yeah,
but the nice thing, 60 centimeters long, but they give you a proper.
Yes,
hiding.
That bludger is strong there. And what's nice about it, he's not quite a carink, so he doesn't reef you.
Yeah.
But you think you're going to get drilled. You can actually scale down. That's what I did just for a little bit of fun, and I'd start using the 30-40 pound outfit.
Okay.
And you can take. Obviously comp format's different. You want to land the fish as quick as you can and get the next one, but. Now, when I was fishing socially, I did. When I got into the bludgers in particular, I'd scale down and have a bit of fun on the light tackle. And they're super strong. Yes, they're cool fish. Yeah.
Thanks, Markus. We really appreciate your time and sharing your knowledge with us.
No problem.
We're really looking forward to the comp. I think it's going to be some great banter.
Yeah.
We've got some old characters on the tour. We've got some new young bucks.
It's
really going to be fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck. How's it, guys? Hello.
Cam.
Hello. How are you?
So yeah, I think this one's just going to be a bit of banter between the two of us.
So it starts. Just to show you guys what you're in for the whole week.
So yeah, both Cam and I were up for the Gunjata ski boat comp. Just to give you a little bit of a background on what happened. Cam won.
By luck.
So he won the species prize. So literally the most prestigious size, not necessarily the main prize. There was a prize for the biggest fish.
Yeah.
So
that which is the main prize.
Which was basically the main prize. Yeah. So Cam won. So he's probably I don't know. I'd say the favorite, if not one of the favorites, going into this Pandan kayak fishing.
Which is not a nice target to have on your head, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a great caliber of guys going. You've been spending so much time up there. So
yeah, what would be your pick of the field of guys that are going up there? Let's chat about that.
My thing is top three is what I think is going to be. It's going to be a race between you and the Prince, because he's also very Brad Arthur. I think he's got something in the back door there. And for some reason, I want to just say Tyron Byrne, I think, is going to pull a rabbit out the hat on this one. Yeah. But there's Scott. There's also going to be, obviously, I'm fishing against my mate Jono.
Yeah.
You know, so it's as you said earlier, it takes one or two lucky fish, and you can fish as hard as you want. And if you do not get that luck or that bigger fish, you're not gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, this is species format, so it's like a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yes.
You know, guys are going to get lucky, and there are daily prizes, and there are prizes.
Isn't there that cutting out some of your days fishing or something?
Yeah, correct. So that's nice because it gives the guys a bit of a break. Some of the bullies.
Okay. Well, that's
take a bit of a break, and they can drop a session or two. But then it's also not necessarily going to influence the guys that are charging hard. You know, the young guys that are fishing hard and going hard. I don't know. I think my pick would be, for sure, yourself and Jono are right up there. I think watch out for Adam Waits. He's also 100% going full out on this one.
Okay, he's got his...
Tyron Byrne as well, 100%. He's also a hot contender. And then, don't forget that buddy power, eh? You got Scott Hunter, Brad Arthur. Although Brad, I don't know, hey? I don't know.
He won't fish as hard as us, but he's clever.
No, he's got one of the best fish minds I've ever seen. Without a doubt. He's definitely one of the guys to beat.
Okay.
It's just his fish sense and being able to read the water and conditions and knowing where to fish is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I learned a lot fishing with Brad and against Brad, that's for sure. The nice thing about Brad said to me once was like, if the field's open and everyone knows where they're fishing and what they're fishing for, then and you still beat the guy, then you know that you're the better angler of the day. And I actually quite like that.
Yes. That's true, yeah.
So, that's why I think we're doing these videos as well. We're sharing a bit of our knowledge, the guys that have fished and done well. Because we want to beat the guys that are the best, the guys that are going to push you and challenge you.
That's also, I'm not going there to win, I'm just going there to beat Markus, Scott, Tyron, Adam, and Scott. That's all I'm going to go try beat. Yeah. And if I win after that, good luck to me.
And then another thing as well, I think, is also just understanding the rules, and being able to. So we had a bit of a, in the last Gunjata ski boat comp. So the first morning, the first down that we had, we got an amberjack that measured 26 kilos on the sticker.
On the sticker, yeah.
And we measured the amberjack and we released it. Meantime, that fish would have won the prize overall. But literally, it was the first fish on the first morning, and also, we were thinking about it as well. There wasn't a ski boat up for grabs, and it was I don't know if I could kill a big GT.
And you had the multiplier for
100%,
it, so
100%. And also, it was the first fish.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the comp is always it's like a 30 plus. That's always one.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, this fish measured 26 on the sticker, but it was over 20, but it was like 21. 22.
You didn't think it was in there to be biggest, yeah.
The nice thing about the format of this kayak fishing comp as well is that you actually score by releasing fish.
Okay.
It measures more than what the fish would.
So you can release a particle and all those things if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even a Kuta, if you can measure a Kuta, I know in the past you get 10 points for measuring a Kuta that's 75 centimeters.
That's a dot.
And it's probably a 4 or 5 kilo
fish.
Kuta, and you actually get 10 points by releasing it. So it's a really cool format that Stealth and Blue Water Adventures have done.
Yes.
So it rewards the guys for releasing fish and being a little bit more
minded. I know you did chat earlier and you're telling the guys to they must obviously adapt, which is true. I mean, on the day one I made 47 points.
Yeah.
And I was trying to, so this is for like the Cape Town guys and the guys that haven't really jigged too much and popped and all those things. Don't go and do it, but don't concentrate wholeheartedly only on jigging. If it's not working for you, change it up.
Yeah, change
you
it
have
up.
to.
You have to adapt. Yeah.
Work, do. So what my plan was on day one, I try to compete and jig and pop and do things I don't normally do. And it backfired on me.
Yeah.
So we had a chat because obviously my brother-in-law, we had a chat as a family and we said, listen guys, let's go catch fish what we know how to catch. Let's go catch Kuta, let's go catch tuna. And that's what we focused on, was catch easy fish first.
100%.
And if we've got enough species, then let's go for the amberjack, which we never ended up going for, was the
100%.
amberjack, because you know, it's not a fish I'm used to catching.
Yeah.
And I think it was time wasting for myself. But now on this trip now, my target is to try and get an amberjack.
Yeah. So that's very similar to how I would approach this competition. So what I do is I go through, I try to pay attention to what everyone's catching, you know, what fish are commonly caught. And then I'll go, as I said in the earlier video, 5 species is a good day.
Yeah.
So you try and get 5 species. You prioritize those 5 species that from what you're seeing, what everyone else is catching around, and also what is easy for you to catch and target. So yellowfin tuna, Kuta,
carp, for example.
Whatever it is. And you prioritize those species. And once you've got those 5 species, then you go to species 6, 7, 8, and that's like things like amberjack, greater barracuda.
But the nice thing with this place is while you're trying to get those species, you're going to get a luck.
Yeah.
So that's the nice thing about this place. We have Shloty, for example, you know you're going to catch Kuta and snook and maybe a king on a drop ball.
Yeah, and 3 species is like, what?
Now you go to Pandan, you can put your bait there, you get a protocol, you can get a sailor, you can get
100%.
things that you're not actually targeting.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what helped me in the comp a bit. A lot actually.
Yeah, it's being able to target those species and fish your strengths.
Yeah.
Fish for those species that you know you can catch and what are around. And then from then, if you really get your back against the wall, then you can start being super innovative.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what else to do, put Halcos on and paddle.
And paddle. That's it. That's always last resort.
What you can catch.
Exactly.
As long as you've got that fitness in that, and you know, you can catch it.
In Pandan, I think it's always good to have something in the water on a kayak.
Yeah.
Always pull something to the next spot. Whether it's a daisy chain, that's it.
Yeah.
Or a
Halco. It doesn't have to be a Kuta bait, but always have something in the water. You know, like
always be fishing.
Yeah. Always have a line in the water. Always be fishing.
Yes. But looking forward to it. Definitely put a lot of prep into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I know you guys. It's getting close. We're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be. After 2 days, we're all going to be. What's Markus get that on? What's Scott get that on? It's going to be interesting.
No, it's going to be.
And we're going to be checking each other's bag every day at the end of fishing.
Well, I need to hide my bag.
No, so that's going to be nice.
Yeah,
exactly. Don't leave batteries and fish finders and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of camaraderie out there.
No, it is. It's going to
be a good jaw.
Long overdue. You've never fished on these?
I've never been there on a kayak, never. Yeah. And I've only been there once on the boat.
Yeah.
And it was interesting.
Yeah. Long drive.
A hell of a drive. And we drove right through with the boat.
Yeah.
We didn't stop over, and I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah,
so now we're going to stop at Ponta, and we're going to...
Yeah, it's a long drive, and it's a testing drive. But once you get there, you realise.
The thing that irritated me the most was going through Maputo and peak hour on a Friday.
100%.
That was agonising. And getting pulled over so many times.
Yeah, but generally I find the guys, if you're friendly enough to them and you chat to the guys and say, listen, now, pescador, I'm a fisherman, I'm going up there, I'm a tourist, you know, I come here all the time, I love your country, happy attitude.
You'll be chilled.
You know, normally the guys are chilled. Obviously you get caught speeding or overtaking on a solid line or, you know, then you're in trouble.
Then you're in trouble, that's
you're
it,
in trouble, doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But just having a friendly attitude and being nice to the guys. Make sure that you go to, I know on the group the guys have posted enough. They posted like information on what you need in your vehicle, you know, 2 triangles, a fire extinguisher, the red flag on your kayak, your temporary import permit is very important, and just having a nice attitude, Don't get flustered, don't get irritated with the guy.
When I went through the border now in June, I haven't had my vaccine, and I needed a PCR test. Do we still need it with the laws being lifted?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
You need a government gazetted certificate with your barcoded ID. You can show it on your phone.
Okay.
Or you need a PCR test. I think it's 48 or 72 hours
before
I'm vaccinated.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. And then obviously. On the side, on the South African side, you need to declare your vehicle. You need to declare your fridge freezers, laptops.
It's worth declaring, yeah.
But understand, guys, you're not trying to hide something by declaring it. It shows that you're not illegally trying to import it into Mozambique.
And you're
not going to get into trouble by declaring your laptop and putting a money value. They're not going to charge you VAT.
No.
They will charge you if you come back and you can't account for it,
yes,
because then you've illegally imported it into the country. Another tip as well is that it's a TIP, your temporary import permit. It's a blue piece of paper that you fill out on the Mozambican side. Just make sure that you stipulate everything there, and make sure that if you're coming back on the 12th, say you're coming back on the 15th.
Yeah, just give yourself
just give yourself a bit of a breather. I had to spend an extra day or two in Mozambique, and my TIP and it was a rigmarole for me to get back into the country with that. And stipulate everything. I mean, like a boat. If you've got a boat, you go rubber duck and you've got 250 horsepower Yamaha motors. Don't just think that the boat on the trailer is enough.
Yeah, they put the
anything that's worth a bit of value that you could possibly illegally import, which you're not going to do, right on a temporary import permit. Look after that piece of paper. Even in the roadblocks, the guys ask me for my temporary import permit.
So have a little sleeve with you and have all your documents.
Have everything in there, yeah. If your vehicle's financed, you need a letter from the bank. You need a letter from your insurance to say that it's allowed to go. You need to get third-party insurance.
But you can get that at the Manguzi petrol station.
You can get it at the Manguzi petrol station. You can get it at the border. You can even get it at DriveMoz on the actual website.
All right, that's cool.
As I said, Maputo is a bit of a nightmare, but just take it slow.
Well, the benefit now is you're not towing boats.
100%, but there's some speed bumps just before the tolls. There's permanent tolls going up to Mozambique now, and there's speed bumps there. And you hit that a bit hard, you crack your ski. So you've got to be careful, and the roads are pretty bad in Mozambique, driving up and down the beach once we're there. So take care, make sure the kayaks are tied down properly.
Make sure
you got good padding on your kayaks. Watch those speed bumps as you come up to the toll road. Also, it's 30 at the toll road.
Okay.
And I saw now they were trapping in the 50 zone. So just be careful about that. Almost every single town that you drive through to Mozambique, it goes. You just get up to 120, and then it's like 80, 60, 40, and there's a guy standing there with a camera.
Oh man.
So just be aware of that, And the areas that are pretty bad are obviously close to Maputo. Whether you go on the bottom beach road, it's like a 60 zone, or you go through the market, it's 60 there, and there will be cops. Doesn't matter what time of day you go through. And then the other areas which there's a lot of police activity is Shinavan, where the sugarcane fields are, where the Kamati River comes out.
Yes.
Just before Shai, and before you hit that floodplain, obviously through Shai and Chidengwell.
Okay.
And then again at Inyarim and Kwasiko. Once you cross Kwasiko, you've seen it, there's a lake, it's something to look out for. You cross like this beautiful lake. I feel like the back of the camel's broken once you get there.
Then you're almost there.
You can relax a little bit there. You still got another 2 hours to go.
But I mean, you're there.
But you're pretty much there.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Do that.
And are you going to fish before the com?
I'm traveling up on the Saturday, and the com starts on the Monday. I'm not a fan of going and pricking all the fish on the day before.
And losing tackle.
What I used to do in the past is I used to dive, free dive, I used to spearfish. And it worked to my advantage. I'd
go and have a look.
Go and check what that showing was, and I could see they were yellow spot kingies, larger kingies.
So you had a small.
So I used to spear before the comp, but I think again I'm not taking it as seriously as I say that now, and then you get a little bit of taste of competition, and you get a bit of
a good particle, and then listen, I got or a queenie or something. I'm in here.
Super competitive with the guys, but. Yeah,
but that's interesting.
Again, I just love the format of the comp. I'm just keen to go out there and fish. I know you say you want to catch an amberjack, especially on the kayak. That's not something you get.
That's what I'm saying.
Very special. Not many oaks have caught an amberjack. You get tropicals, but you catch tropicals just.
But I want my goal is to have at least a 15 kilo amber on my ski.
Yeah,
that's what I'm.
Yes, it's a strong fish as well.
And it mustn't be a tropical. It must be a proper amberjack. Yeah. So that's what I want to try to do quite a bit.
100%. It's a bucket list fish.
Yeah.
That's one to get. It's very impressive of you. If you can get and you get drilled, that thing is strong.
Yeah, strong, eh? No,
Strong,
for sure.
strong fish, yeah.
And yeah, and what else would be an easier but also a bucket list fish there?
A big GT,
A big
GT
GT.
over a meter.
But would you say on a live bonnie or on a
top
jig?
water.
Top water. You got a better chance on top water.
No,
Landing.
not necessarily. Yeah, maybe landing it, but not necessarily. Yeah, I mean, you get those GTs on jigs, you get them on live bonnies, you get them on live bait. If you can get live bait, that's the thing. But yeah, to get a GT on top water, that's a good.
Yeah.
That's a
And
bucket.
some advice for the guys, like when I was in June, we got all our bonnies actually south end of Pandan.
Again,
It changes
I
all
was
the
there
time.
now for almost 4 weeks. Got bonnies for 2 days and then nothing for like 6 days.
Oh wow. So,
I saw a lot of what I thought was bonnie. For the daisy chain, you get a string of salad fish,
yes.
which
Okay.
apparently they get charred up there, but I wasn't interested
no, I'm
in
not
touching that thing.
No,
till
it's-
so
And gloves, you said, very important.
it
It's
changes.
true,
But like the bonnies will be there in the morning and they're gone in the afternoon,
Yeah.
or they'll be there in the afternoon. But there are definitely spots where you get bonnies.
more common than the rest.
Yeah, more common than
Yeah.
the rest. So keep an eye out for it. Yeah, that if you can fish live bonnies, you're gonna catch like a trophy fish or a bucket list fish, or
Or a lot of small kuda.
depends on the size of the bonnie.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one Ganjata comp, I swam a skippy,
Okay.
and I got a 26.5 kilogram Kuta.
Oh wow.
And I won, as I said, I won the Kolkata,
Oh,
the second
sure.
biggest fish. So,
Brilliant.
and I mean, that was like a 3.5 kilo skippy.
Skippy. And were you out in the deep or shallow?
No, not at all. I put it in the deep and then pinned it.
And pulled it back.
Pulled it on the inside. I was actually trying for like a grater because it was a big bait, and obviously I happened to pull the right bait that only had like a 18 kilo
Yeah.
Kuta, I think, would battle to eat that.
Yeah.
it
So
just
that was
happened to
brilliant.
pull it past the
And sharks,
right-
do you have shark problems there?
it never used to be, but at the moment it's
Getting taxed
crazy.
or eating your baits and
Both,
whatever.
Getting taxed mostly, and then getting converted. So you hook a fish and then you land up hooking a shark,
so don't dawdle.
and then they eat your live bodies.
Oh man.
But again, certain spots, certain spots not so bad.
Yeah.
But that Manta North area, the
The
sharks,
sharks are
ooh, crazy.
bad.
As bad as, but I mean this year, just in general, even back in Durban, I've never seen
Shark.
activity like this. I don't know what you.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
It's hard to get a fish out.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, so yeah, that's just another factor that we have to deal with while we're up there, I guess. Now,
It makes it more fun, makes it more interesting.
no, it does.
Definitely.
Yeah, when you're part of the food chain.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so I'm really looking forward to getting up there on my kayak.
Cool.
Been prepping for quite a while, and hopefully I've got all my stuff rigged and ready.
Yeah, I've been quite busy. My stuff's just lying in a pile at home. So I'm going away soon. So yeah, I've got like 3 days when I get back to try and get everything.
try and
But it's
get-
fun.
it's
It's
fun.
like I enjoy it. I like sitting down and having a cold one and fiddling and making
That's
trades
it.
and getting a tackle. And apparently I've got to do Chally's tackle too. I
Yes.
just had a look at it now.
And it's chaos.
Yeah, it's
No,
not good.
It hasn't been touched since Teco in 2018. It's
He
still
says
packed.
he's going to go fishing. But he's still he's actually going to go fishing.
I've been away with Charlie a few times, and I've seen him fish maybe 5 times in Mozambique. And he always gets a sailey.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he always
That's
gets
another thing, another bucket list fish that I think a lot of guys can look forward to possibly getting as a bullfish up there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are
but
they
you got
quite-
marlin, eh? A lot of bullfish up there. You got a marlin. You got marlin.
I got marlin and I've got 3 sailies, and I lost a sailey.
Yeah. Yeah, we also in that comp we lost 2 marlin, lost 2 sailies.
Oh man.
Again, you see, just and you'll
game changer.
vouch for it. There's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's like 80 points.
80 points for the marlin.
But,
Marlin 80 points multiplied by 6 for the day. It was like,
It's obviously not scored as high in the kayak comp.
what is it,
It's
marlin?
30 and 50.
But it's still.
But you see, again, you can't handle 100 plus
Unkid-
kilo marlin on a
I reckon
well, you can, but
it's going to be a big
that's
time
your
waster.
whole morning written off.
Can't.
For 80 points,
Yeah.
are you going to, once you're done fighting the marlin, are you going to be able to multiply that? Are you going to be able to, I don't know. There's all these things that you got to take into consideration.
I'll make that decision when I see a jump.
100%.
Yeah, maybe not. Okay, bye-bye.
If it looks like a double cat bucky jumping, you're in trouble. Straight stick.
That's it. Yeah, but like I say, if you can get a sailey, I think you're going to be in and you multiply. You can make the top 6.
If you get a yellowfin, and a couple of Kuta and a saline throughout the 5-day comp, you know, it might be your best fishing you've ever had in your life, but you're not gonna, a guy who's got 3 species of kingies, Lux, a protocol, gets a Kuta and a tuna is gonna beat you.
Exactly, because you've got 4, 100%.
Keep multiplying.
You just multiply.
Multiply.
And after 2 days, if you go to the same reef and you're catching the same kingies, don't go back there.
Yeah, move.
Do something else. Yeah. All right, no, interesting. Okay, great stuff.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for everything. And I'll see you up there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Great stuff.